Hi class, in this video I'll be working through some homework examples from our topic 2 in statistics. This is slope and equation of a line. The first question says find the slope of the line that passes through the points, and then if the answer is undefined, which means if you divide it by 0, enter the word undefined. Okay, so to find slope you need to use the formula m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and we can just number the ordered pairs. This 4, 4 could be x1, y1. The negative 5, 1 could be x2, y2. And then we just take those values and substitute it into this formula. So 1 minus 4 is the numerator, negative 5 minus 4 is the denominator, and that gives us the fraction negative 3 over negative 9, which reduces to 1/3. So that is the slope. Use the slope to state whether the line rises, falls, is horizontal or vertical. If the slope is positive, it rises, and so you'd select the first answer choice. Okay, on this screen I've taken you to WebAssign because I wanted to show you how to graph using WebAssign's graphing tool. The first thing I want you to do is select the line with the double arrows, and you can select this with your mouse and click on the triangle in the bottom right corner. It will give you options, but go ahead and click on the line with the double arrows. It will turn blue. That way you know that icon is on. Our first point was 4, 4, and so on the graph you will just select the intersection of 4, 4, and you'll see a black dot has appeared. Next you'll select the point negative 5, 1. As soon as you select that second dot, a little blue line will appear, and then you can submit your answer. Okay, this next question says write the equation in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So to do this, we need to take the equation 8x minus y equals 12, rearrange the terms so that it's in the format y equals the x term, which we'll call mx, plus b. The first thing, subtract 8x from both sides. That leaves negative y equals. I'm going to now squeeze the minus 8x before the 12 because that will get me closer to the format that I need. Now I'm going to divide each term by negative 1. That produces positive y equals 8x minus 12. And so that's what you would put in the box. And now I'm going to take you over to WebAssign and show you how to graph an equation like this. Okay, here we are in WebAssign. The equation in slope-intercept form is y equals 8x minus 12. Before we can graph, you need to turn on the graphing icon. It's the second button that's a line with the double arrowheads. When you first click it, 2 more options will appear, but just click that bottom right corner until the icon has turned blue. So there's a really easy way to graph this. We'll first focus in on negative 12. That is the y-intercept. And so I want you to find negative 12 on the y-axis, which is the vertical axis, and that's where I want you to put your first dot. Okay, so you'll see that a black dot has shown up on negative 12. Next, we'll use the 8 as the slope of 8 over 1, which is rise over 1. So we will count up 8, but I want you to be careful because this number line is in increments of 2. So we'll really count up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. And as you put that second dot, that's when the line will appear and you can submit your answer. Okay, next question says find the slope of the ladder in the figure below. And to find slope, we need to find the distance between 2 ordered pairs. We're going to let the top of this ladder leaning against the house be 1 point and the bottom of the ladder be the second point. So if we start at the top, slope is rise over run, but obviously the ladder is going down when you look at it. And so we're going to go first down 30 to represent that as negative 30, and then we'll go over 6.5. Now that is the correct answer, but this is not the format that WebAssign wants it. It's because it's a fraction that has a decimal in it. So the easiest thing to do is multiply each of these by 2, just so that we can get a fraction that does not have a decimal in it. So negative 60 over 13 is the answer that WebAssign is looking for, instead of the fraction negative 30 over 6.5, but those 2 fractions are the same value. Okay, this question says write the equation in slope-intercept form, which is something we did just a minute ago. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. This one there's just one step to do. We'll subtract the 1/4 x from both sides. That would be y equals negative 1/4 x plus 1. The slope is the coefficient of the x value, which is negative 1/4. The y-intercept is the b, but the y-intercept is always 0, b. And so in the box, you would type 0, 1. You could also find those two answers by looking at the graph. You can see right here, the little dot in blue that I'm making, that's the y-intercept, 0, 1. And then if you go down 1 and over 4, that's the slope of negative 1/4. So either by picture or by equation, you should be able to identify the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, next question says use the point slope form to write an equation of a line, and then put that equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, so there's two forms. Slope-intercept form is always y equals mx plus b. A lot of times slope-intercept form is called equation of the line. So anytime you read equation of a line, it's talking about slope-intercept form. Point slope form is in the form of y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And that's the form that we'll start with and then convert that form into slope-intercept form. Okay, if you look at this picture, you have a slope of negative 1/4 and an ordered pair negative 6, negative 1. So we'll take those values and substitute it into the point slope form. Y minus negative 1 equals negative 1/4 times x minus negative 6. Now we'll just simplify. Right now this will be y plus 1 equals negative 1/4 times x plus 6. Now I want you to take this fraction, negative 1/4, and distribute to x plus 6. That would be y plus 1 equals negative 1/4 x minus 6/4. All right, we're almost done. Now we'll subtract 1 from both sides. Y equals negative 1/4 x. Right here, if you need your calculator, that's okay. This is negative 6/4 minus 4/4, which is negative 10/4, which simplifies to negative 5/2. So the equation in slope-intercept form is y equals negative 1/4 x minus 5/2. Okay, next question says a sub shop purchases a used pizza oven for $885. After 1 year, its depreciated value is $827. The depreciation is linear. Then it asks us to write a linear model that relates to the value of V of the oven to T time in years. We need to figure out the value that was lost in that first year. That's a simple subtraction problem. 885 minus 827 is 58. So we can assume from this problem that each year the pizza oven will depreciate $58. That means that it will lose value the older that it gets. So to write a linear model, it would look something like this. We know that the pizza oven originally had a value of $885, but now we know each year it loses $58 per year. That's where we're going to put the variable t. And so now we're going to use that equation to find out the value of the pizza oven after 2 years. This is the second question. The equation value equals $885 minus 58t. Now we'll let t equal 2. 885 minus 58 times 2. Orders of operation says multiply first. This will be 885 minus 116. And it will have a value after 2 years of $769. Okay, so let's try another one like that. Sally makes dream catchers as a hobby and wants to sell them at a craft show. She knows the fixed costs are $80 and the cost to produce each dream catcher is $2.90. Write an equation for the total cost in dollars, C, of producing X number of dream catchers. Okay, so this will be C equals, and this is her total cost. There's a flat rate of $80. Maybe there's a machine she has to buy or yarn she has to buy, but that's a fixed cost of $80. Next, every time she makes a dream catcher, it's $2.90. And so the next part of the equation is to add 2.90 times X, which is the number of dream catchers. And so from here, if the question continued on and said how much would it cost to make 5 dream catchers, you would substitute 5 for X and figure out the total cost. But it didn't ask us to do that. It asked us just to find a generic equation. And so the final answer is C equals 80 plus 2.9x. Okay, there's one more to work out on this video. A swimming pool already contains a small amount of water. When you start filling it at a constant rate, the pool contains 50 gallons of water after 7 minutes, and 124 gallons after 35 minutes. Find the average rate of change and use it to write a linear model that relates to the amount of water in the pool. Okay, so basically this has given us two ordered pairs, and we're going to find the slope of those ordered pairs, that's the average rate of change, and then write a linear model. Our ordered pairs are going to be in the format minutes and gallons. So the first ordered pair is 740. The second ordered pair is 35 and 124. The first thing I want you to do is use the slope formula to find the slope. This would be 124 minus 40 over 35 minus 7. 124 minus 40 is 84. 35 minus 7 is 28. That simplifies to 3. So the average rate of change is 3 gallons per minute. Next, we'll use the point slope form to write an equation of the line. And we just need to use one of these ordered pairs. I'm going to use this smaller ordered pair, 740. Y minus 40 equals 3 times x minus 7. This would be 3x minus 21. Now add 40 to both sides. And the equation would be y equals 3x plus 19. Okay, that's all for this video. Please let me know if you have any questions as you're working through your homework assignment.